Welcome back to another weekend edition of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, week number 75. I'm of course your host, Live VIP, and with me I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to something a little bit different here. Of course, we just wrapped up with the Elite League replay cast, and now we are back with Sparkling Tuna Cup. Usually this is a weekly open tournament on the weekend on Sundays, but Sundays for the next 2 months are going to be filled up by Masters Coliseum. We will be casting Masters Coliseum, of course, and because that we have to move our event to a different day, we have decided to move it here to Wednesdays instead. And here we go, we're jumping into our first series. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have the we have the green Zerga player representing 3D Clan. It is GgMaChine. I've been casting too many Koreans. Speaking of, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Pink Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Here we go. HonMonO, we just casted him take down Rogue 2-0. It was a crazy series. If you missed out, I recommend the VODs, as we covered HonMonO in the round of 32 of Elite League up against Rogue in a best of 3. It was crazy. It was wild. And what did HonMonO do? He made Cyclones. Oh, sorry. I said he made Cyclowns, papi. Let's go. He went mass Cyclone every it was crazy, papi. It was crazy. Oh my god. Did embrace mech quite a bit. Did embrace mech against Rogue and did bring him to his knees. It was crazy. It was a wild series. We'll see if HonMonO does play something similarly here against GgMaChine. Oh boy. As HonMonO has been enjoying and embracing the new old Cyclone. As a reminder as well, as someone was asking in the chat, yes, this tournament, as all online events, are taking place on the mod that does fix the Cyclone. So the Cyclone does not have as much range and as much DPS, and the Cyclone is fixed for this event, as is the case with all online tournaments. So if you ever find yourself asking, yo, is this tournament playing with the mod? Of course it is. So yeah, I don't think there's been an event actually taking part without the mod coming into play. So yes, it is only something that is plaguing the ladder. So if you're out there, if you're watching like someone streaming the ladder or playing the ladder yourself, then that is where you will experience the bugged Cyclone. Everywhere else, that shouldn't be the case. As in a way, we have modded, we have patched the game ourselves. As we do have the Reaper going to be delaying the third base. Let's get here in time. The third base is going to be delayed. We do see GgMaChine did go hatch gas full stand the Reaper out of our Zerg player, but his third base is going to be delayed for quite a bit. Leagues on this round. Oh, the Reaper's left idle. Big catch. That should not have happened. HonMonO looking elsewhere, was otherwise distracted by the Overlord, with the Marine, and with that the Reaper goes down and GgMaChine expands. So far so good. GgMaChine does expand. Back at home, HonMonO going for a thorough TC. Did go for a CC on the high ground just to be safe, just to be secure. This is something that HonMonO does on some of these maps where he feels like he's feeling a little bit vulnerable. So did go for a delayed expand to begin with, but his expansion should be on the horizon. Getting to a 1-1-1 follow-up after the third TC. And from here, do we embrace the mech? Let's go. Cyclown best clown. You're not wrong. So we'll see if he does embrace mech. He can and has played bio in the past. He's pretty good at bio, don't get me wrong. That is typically where HonMonO thrives, but I'm curious if that's going to be the case here as the SCV does go down. Nice little pick up here by GgMaChine as he's still happily droning up, getting his third base. No fast tech, no fast lair, nothing crazy from the side of our Zerg player yet. Also, before I forget, my apologies, but predictions in the chat are open. Place your bets on who you believe will take the series. I apologize for it being a little bit late, but, they're on the way nonetheless. And the tuna. How I've missed you. Beautiful. Place your bets. Place your bets, papi. Get your gamba. Gamba time. HonMonO. The most honorable of monorables, papi. And here we go, Hellions are moving out. So far, it's going to be 3 CC and 2 Banshee. Stay there. Oh my god, that is not a second factory. That is a second starport. Do you see what I see? I see Mass Banshee. Mass Banshee out of HonMonO. Tech Labs on the way for an add-on swap to go into Cloak, to go into Hyperflight Rotors. Meanwhile, Hellions are getting across the map. They do bust into the natural. Boys are being pulled away. Hellions, they do rotate over towards the natural base. Evership is being thrown. Oh, they line up. The drones do line up. It's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7 drone kills already. Oh, and he's getting even more done in the main. 11, 12, 13 of drones going down. That is brutal. Despite the Evo Chamber blocks, the Evo Chambers were a little bit misplaced. The Hellion still busted in. And now GgMaChine, he has to commit. I mean, he does have a Baneliness on the way, but he's droning. GgMaChine, he's droning up, he's saturating his bases, is moving out some lings, but unfortunately he does not really have enough for a counterattack for an all-in. GgMaChine is going to try to recover, but that was a big loss for GgMaChine. And back at home, HonMonO, he is, as we mentioned, going Mass Banshee. Mass Banshee here from HonMonO. Lings are being cleaned up. When it comes to the map itself, we're loading into King's Cove, something that I should mention, very defendable on 2 and 3 bases, very easy to defend on 3 bases here. As you can see, HonMonO, he fully walls off at the ramp, and now he can focus his defenses here at the 3rd base instead. Hyperflight Rodus is on the way. As we mentioned, that is going to be Banshee speed, and HonMonO moves out. HonMonO does move out across the map, making his way towards the 3rd. Spores are going to be finishing, thankfully. But the Banshees are revealed, and GgMaChine, does he have enough queens here to hold on? So far, 6. Okay, he has plenty of queens, 6 queens, but only 1 in position. 1 queen is going to be going down. Yeah, the rest of the army out of position here. Queens, they do respond, they do react, but 1 queen has already fallen. As he's trying to keep up, at least he hasn't lost any workers. So far, GgMaChine is maintaining himself. Double Evo Chamber on the way for upgrades. Hydrogen as well for the anti-air, of course. But the Banshees, they're still building up. So, Pappy, you don't need Cyclowns. You can just make Banshee. True. Oh my god. And so far, we have how many Banshees? 4. 4, soon to be 6 Banshees here for HonMonO. Ooh, 1 Banshee goes down. Nice pick up here by GgMaChine. Very nicely done. Shuts down the initial Banshee, respreads that creep, takes the center 4th base. Now, this 4th base is quite exposed, quite vulnerable here, wide open. But so far, GgMaChine is holding on. And again, HonMonO doesn't really have much on the ground to really threaten the expansion. As you see what I see, factories. It's going to be Mass Banshee into a mech follow-up. Again, this is an old school build. If you're watching StarCraft at the start of 2023 and even a bit of 2022 as well, you would have seen Ryung and Maru and even, oh, I don't think Byun did it, but I know that Ryung, Maru, and I think even TOI did embrace this, initially just going Mass Banshee, then into mech. It's a unique form of battle mech, essentially, as the Banshees provide a lot of support for the army. And they can do a surprising amount of damage, especially shutting down a Roach Ravager-based composition. I'm a little bit shocked to see that GgMaChine is going Lingbane Hydra instead. No Roaches, no Ravagers. That also means that the ground and mech army that's going to be on the horizon here can actually do quite well and trade quite efficiently against Lingbane. As Hellions are moving out, these are vanilla Hellions. Banshees, they stay back at home. They do come across the Lings. Yeah, Lings are spotted. Banshees, they do react, they do respond, they come back home. Things will be forced back. Meanwhile, Mass Hellion diving past the Queens, going for the mineral line. They're going for the 3rd, and once again, drones are going down. Lings out of position, nothing to defend. A couple of workers are being pulled here to try to slow this down, but the mineral line is roasted, and that's going to be 13 drones falling. Ay, ay, ay. 13, 14 workers going down. Banshees, they rotate over towards the 3rd, towards the natural. And they're wreaking havoc. Oh, god. Oh, no. Zerg players look away as Banshees, they just wreak havoc. They're going for the expansion, they're going for the main. Hydras are on the way. Hydras, they pop out just in time. Whew, they save the expansion, just barely. But they just rotate over. Oh, 1 Banshee does go down, but just the 1. Again, the Hydra's having a hard time keeping up, but they will shut down another Banshee. GgMaChine, he holds, but he loses 19 workers. 19 drones going down. And behind this, HonMonO, where's he headed? Where's he going? Into Blue Flame, into Macville Accelerators. Into Battle Mech, of course, as we did mention. Mass Banshee into Battle Mech. Banshee's still posing a threat. The fungal! Oh my god, massive fungal in the army! And with that, Hydra themselves step forward, and they do shut down the Banshees. Very nice catch here by GgMaChine. And just like that, HonMonO, he loses map control. I mean, again, HonMonO, he doesn't really have much of a ground army yet. He was relying heavily on these Banshees. And now HonMonO, he's in trouble. Again, what is his ground army? Looking at the units tab, it is 2 Hellions, 2 Cyclones. This is the army. This is all he has. Again, the Banshees, they were designed not to harass, not just to harass, but also to keep the army busy. And now the army is not busy anymore. GgMaChine is running up to 74. I would say that he is behind economically. HonMonO, he still has a better kind of setup here, getting a 4th expansion, but it's the main army that I'm concerned by. The main army here, as we are taking up into Hive, into Lurker Tech as well. Again, these Banshees that don't really pose a threat, not anymore. They're doing what they can, but there's only 2 of them. Now 4. Oh, the Spore! The Spore wasn't rebuilt! Oh, that is... that's unfortunate. The Spore was not rebuilt in time. Banshees, they find more damage. No, they can go for the base. No shot. It still goes down. The hatchery. The main base gets sniped. Queens are trying to keep up. No fungal, unfortunately. They do get one of the Banshees, though. As GgMaChine gets knocked down to 3 bases. Inefficient mining here, as he has to reroute. Headed towards the fourth, which is under fire. And again, throughout all this, HonMonO, he's building up. And there was a window. If you remember, after the first fungal growth, there was a window where HonMonO was vulnerable. And when GgMaChine could have pushed in, but he didn't. He didn't. He's now moving out, but now HonMonO has an army to work with. Is it enough, though? Can GgMaChine still overwhelm? There's one tank behind this. Tank siege is up. Tank is exposed. It's going to be going down. Oh, let's say that. Does hold its own. HonMonO, he's holding. He's holding on. He has to respect the fungals. As there are 2 infestors. Banshees, they dive in. Oh, they want the infestor. They get one. Where's the fungal? Where's the no? Gets a fungal, but both infestors go down. That may have been worth it. Did cost 3 Banshees, but they did snipe at both infestors. And now we can see GgMaChine getting to Lurker tech. Lurker upgrades on the way. Hive is done, of course. Here comes the Battle Mech army. Lock-ons on the Hydras. Lynx coming in to reinforce. GgMaChine, he has to respect this. Oof. Yeah, as we just have a couple of the Cyclones getting picked up here. Not a bad trade for GgMaChine, trading mainly Ling. And where are the tanks? There are no tanks behind this. The rest of the army has to respond. Lurkers pushing, and GgMaChine, can he keep going? Can he send it, Bappy? Can he send it? Lurkers, they burrow. And despite the scan, remember, without tanks, I mean, what's the answer to the Lurkers? What, to push in with a ground army like this? Oh my god, they line up. Yeah, they cannot engage with the Lurkers. Not like this. Ooh, Banshees can, though. Uh-oh. There's the lunge for the Hydras. They're trying to get the hell out of here. Banshees reign supreme. Not enough anti-air. And the Banshees are the MVPs of this game. They force the Lurkers back. There's another scan. Another Lurker going to be going down. We'll try to scuttle away. We'll be able to. I'll speak to you soon. Is hunted down. And HonMonO holds. And what's scary is that HonMonO, he didn't just hold. He did not lose any workers. He did protect his mineral line. So he's still on a solid economy, 72 workers, double expanding, getting 2 more CCs, and transitioning into something more robust here. A couple of tanks, but still actually staying with Battle Mech. Ah, there we go. 2 more tanks for the main army. And this is one of the big features of King's Cove. One, very defendable here with all these choke points, with all these high ground locations. But on top of that, there are so many areas like this with points of elevation. We have this brutal cliff face with these tanks that can just reign supreme. Vipers coming in, they get the yoinks, they get 1. They get 2. Both tanks are picked up. Very nice abductions here from GgMaChine. Does lunge forward, takes down 1, almost 2 more Cyclones. GgMaChine has to back up. Ooh, another Cyclone goes down. GgMaChine is going to actually try and chase this down. He lunges. Gets 1 more Cyclone. Gets 2. Barely picks up 2 more Cyclones. No detection. No detection. The Banshees, they punish. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my god, the Hydra count is stacking up. Finally, the detection comes in. Hydras, they hold their own. Checking the unit slow tab here. That was 13. 13 Hydras did fall there. 7 Cyclones, 4 Banshees. Did trade. Calming things down. HonMonO taking another expansion. Make sure there's no base on the left-hand side. Instead, GgMaChine expanding towards the north. Hellions do confirm, and they're going for the mineral line. Ooh, no stack defense. 1 Hellion goes down. A second Hellion going to be falling as well. Not too many drones going to get roasted here. Yeah, they're on A move. They're stuck on A move. 3 drone kills at the same time. Cyclones, they get abducted. The yoinks. Viper survive. Nidastorm finishing up. Speaking of, Nidastorm here into the natural, and the Lunkers are coming in. And HonMonO keep up here. Ooh. Oh my god, the Lurker shots are brutal. Yeah, the army got choked up. And with that, the Lurkers, they do reign supreme here. Ah, but the Banshees. I mean, again, the Banshees, they do require anti-air to be here. Another nice into the main. Hydra's pushing through the center. Diving on the Cyclones. Picking up some turrets. Hydra's, they're gaining ground at the same time. Banshees. Oh no! They missed target! They target the depot! They target the depot instead, but hey, that's going to be 1 secure Lurker kill. Ling Hydra takes down a CC. They're going for the planetary. Ooh, is GgMaChine overextending? Yeah, a little bit. He has to back off. He has to regroup. But again, GgMaChine, he's on 93 drones. He has a solid economy. He can remax. He can rebuild. HonMonO cannot. He's on 4 bases. That is true, but he's been bleeding out far too many units. Whether it's tanks, Banshees, Cyclones. I mean, they're quite expensive. And they just cannot maintain these losses here. They're still making more Banshees. I mean, they have their place, don't get me wrong, but I feel like at this point it's a little bit inefficient here. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing like even tank Liberator instead. But HonMonO, I mean, he does his own thing. He wants to be in the face of his opponents. I mean, that's the advantage of the Banshee instead of something like Libs. They are more mobile. Are more mobile. Cyclones, they do snipe an expansion. Takes a couple of seconds. Base goes down. But here come the Hydras. Here comes the surround. Cyclone, sure they got a base, but can he escape? No shot. Yeah, GgMaChine coming in, collapsing on the army. There's no way out of this. Cyclones, are they kiting as best they can, but they get surrounded. They get cornered. There's no way out of this. Oof. As the Cyclones are pinned. The launch there from the Hydras. Nice cleanup here by GgMaChine. At the same time, HonMonO, he takes down bottom left. Again, HonMonO has nothing at home. Like, he's just rallying everything across the map as quickly as possible. Just trying to force GgMaChine to respond. I mean, he does get a base. Does get an expansion. Behind this, retaking now his new fifth base. He's attempting to, once again, moving out with Hellion Cyclone. But GgMaChine, he's almost maxed. Oh, snipes one, snipes two lurkers. Very nicely done. Doinks! Ooh. On Hellions and Cyclones, not ideal, but does pick up two of them. Still value. Still value. As Banshees, they commit into the natural. GgMaChine, he likewise commits with his main army. Lurkers, they defend back at home. They shut down the harassing force of HonMonO. Now just from into the main. Banshees, they go in between the bases, but there are queens to defend. And the queens will hold. And here comes GgMaChine. Here he comes, and this time I don't think he's going to be stopped. Lurker shots going off. Planetary goes down. Nidus in the main. Lurkers, they pop out. These lurkers are going to be cleaned up, but again, they still trade well for themselves. Oh my god. As the Battle Mech army stacks up. And it looks like GgMaChine, he has done it. It was a shaky start of the game, don't get me wrong. It was a rough start, but you know when momentum swung in favor of GgMaChine? Mate, you know what it was. The fungal clapping. When he fungled those Banshees, when he shut them down, I mean, that was his moment. GG gets called, and GgMaChine takes game number 1. Whew. GG. That's a lot of GGs. That's GG, well played. Does take a lead in the series. And again, he had a very rough start. HonMonO, he was on fire in the first quarter of the game, maybe even arguably the first half of the game. But again, it was a massive blow when the fungal connected, when he lost every single Banshee. And then suddenly HonMonO, I mean, that was all he had. He was stuck at home. Well, I should say GgMaChine was able to get some breathing room, able to double expand, able to drone up, and able to maintain himself. GG. GG, well played. Whew. With that, does take a lead in the series. And now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Where are we dropping? Where are we dropping? Oh, hold on, I'll fix up the out-of-game race logo. There you go. Here we go. Just catching up with the chat. Ugh. HonMonO. That's a deep cut. HonMonO. Is he a homeowner? Maybe. Ay. You're an animal. But I do agree. That after losing those Banshees, I think that would have been a good moment for him to turtle. Basically, instead of committing into battle mech, going into a more turtle style of mech, you know. Going into Hellions, going into Liberators, going into tanks, more importantly. But at the same time, I would imagine that HonMonO doesn't enjoy that style, right? Like, it is a less active style. It's a lot slower as well. And a lot of players, they do have their own tendencies. They have their own preferred styles. And HonMonO, he's an animal. He's an ape. And Pappy, you can't A-move across the map the same way with tanks. It's true, you can't. It's not what he likes. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our green Zerg player. Representing 3D Clan, leading the series 1-0. It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the pink Terran player from the land of South Korea, representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. He might be a homeowner, but he's HonMonO. Hey. Here we go. We're settling in. Hatch gas pool. Standard opener. Standard opener here by GgMaChine. But we are settling into a very interesting map. We're settling into Ultra Love. Ultra Love, likewise, very defendable here on your 3 and 4 bases. Much more defendable than King's Cove, at least when it comes to the 4th base. If you don't have momentum, we do have a lot of choke points, a lot of ramps, a lot of points of elevation here. But the downside is that this is a smaller map compared to King's Cove, so the rush distance by ground is shorter. So you can reinforce that much faster. So if you do get momentum, if you are being aggressive, then you can maintain that and you can hit that much harder here. We'll see. We'll see who's going to be the aggressor. We'll see if HonMonO goes Mass Banshee again, or if instead he embraces an earlier Mass Cyclone style. I expect mech. Like, regardless of what variation of mech, I expect mech here at a HonMonO. But we'll see. Oh, look, there's like a little thing. As once again, CC on the high ground, this is HonMonO's go-to. It is inefficient, if you're curious. It is an inefficient way to open up, but it is safer. So, you know, there's a bit of a give and take here as we have the CC on the high ground instead of on location. Does mean that if GgMaChine had opened up pool first, his Lings wouldn't really be able to do too much at all. Overlord does confirm that the CC is nowhere to be found. A little bit suspect, but GgMaChine, he should be checking up the ramp, and there we go. He gets eyes on the command center. Does confirm. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have Link Speed on the way. GgMaChine, he pulls out. Ooh, the Reaper does get across the map that much faster, though. He does delay the 3rd. Does delay the expansion, forces out a Gas Geyser. And GgMaChine is forced to expand linearly instead. Oh, can he get the drone? Oh! We do get the cancel in time. Reaper does not get the worker. The drone will get away. Lings, they will have to pay the price. So one Ling goes down, but only the one. And with that, GgMaChine, he holds. Now his 3rd base is later than he would have liked, but not by too much. Not by too much, his 3rd base is still on the way. Reaper does confirm, which does rule out an early Roach Warren. But HonMonO still has to get an eye on what's happening. Oh my god, his Ling's not quite in position. They're on hold position even. HonMonO, he noticed, he gets 1 Ling. Pulls back. Back across the map. HonMonO going 3 CC into before Starport. Oh, that is 3 CC before 3rd factories. That is a 2nd factory being thrown down. As we mentioned, it's going to be mech. And this time, instead of going Mass Banshee, as we mentioned, it is going to be earlier Mass Hellion and earlier Cyclone. And we expect battle mech. Like, technically, this could be the beginning of like a more tank-heavy style, but that just isn't really HonMonO's go-to. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. Wants to be in your face as quickly as possible. That's a lot of Lings. Uh-oh. GgMaChine is cutting workers at 28. He's making 10 more Lings behind this. That's going to be 28 Lings in the total. Jesus. He's moving out. He's moving out. Oh, the tuna. Does move past the tuna. Heads across the map, and we'll see if we can break the natural. Blue Flame is being prioritized, so we're going to be initially getting into Mass Hellion production. And that's going to trade quite well against all these Lings. Assuming that GgMaChine commits. Do have a Ling Scout, thankfully. Does confirm the Hellion staying back at home. GgMaChine, he has an idea of what's going on. HonMonO, likewise, he does move out. GgMaChine is supposed to move out with the Overlord, and he will hide those Lings. HonMonO, he's checking. He does find them. Does find the Lings. Oh! They do settle first around. And they will be able to get away. Lings, they pull back. Blue Flame is halfway done. GgMaChine, for now, still just saturating his bases, droning up. Yet to embrace any further tech. HonMonO rushing into a fast armory. Oh my god. With that can turn into a Blue Flame Hellbat push. And without Banelings and without Roaches, I'm concerned here. I'm concerned for GgMaChine. Roach Warren now on the way, but it's a 5-minute Roach Warren. Is it too late? Ooh, Lings, they get roasted. Oh my god. And the armory is almost done. It's halfway done at this point. HonMonO is going to commit. Is moving out. Does move out across the map. Queens are getting in position. Roach Warren is still not done. It's purely Link Queen defense. Helly as they dive into the mineral line. Oh, Blue Flame is revealed, but they get surrounded. Where's the armory? The armory just finishing. This wasn't anti-timing for HonMonO. Yeah, it wasn't anti-timing. Most of the Hellions get cleaned up. They get 3 drone kills. That is not enough. 5 drones. That's better. Uh-oh. Oh no, they're stacking. Oh god, get out of here. They're stacking up. They are lining up here. Hellion shot's gonna be going up to 16. He's not done. 18. 22. Oh no, 24. The defense was good. It was good initially. Like things. Remember when he was getting out of the third, he had only killed 3 drones, and then now 25. 26. All it takes is 4 Hellions and a dream, papi. Ay, ay, ay. They got into the mineral line. Queen's out of position. 26 drone kills. And just like that, HonMonO, he's up in economy. He's up in workers. He's muling his third. And is embracing more Hellions and now Cyclones. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. Again, initially it was an impressive defense there. And HonMonO, he had gone in a little bit too early. He was premature. The armory finished up after the dive into the third, so there was no hellbat potential. But now there is. And we have more Hellions, and they're diving into the natural once again. Queens not quite in position. Drones are going to get roasted. How many workers? This is a big commitment here from HonMonO. 11 drones going down. The Queens! Oh, they block off just in time. Whew. The KDA charge! No, they get knocked out of position. 3 Hellions make it through. Again, this is a big investment by HonMonO, but he does get into the mineral line. Drones are going down. Ooh, 14, 15. 15 workers. Ay, ay, ay. 15 drones for 9 Hellions and a Reaper. That's pretty well worth it. Pretty well worth it there. Again, it was good movement with the Queens, but the KDA charge was brutal. Knocked the Queen out of position. And behind this, what do we have? We have Cyclones. Actually, we have more Hellions. I say just keep going. Yeah, HonMonO, he just keeps just sending them across the map. He doesn't even care. He just sends it back into another mineral line. 3 more drones going down. Okay, this time a cleaner trade by GgMaChine. That was 4 Hellions for 3 drones. That was not as worth it. Was not worth it for HonMonO. But more Hellions towards the 4th. Back at him. How many Cyclones does he have here? He's up to 7. Not too many. 7 Cyclones. And Roaches are coming in for a counterattack. And with that high Cyclone counts, I mean, HonMonO, he's in trouble. Again, where are the Cyclones? Did we make too many Hellions? Maybe. As well. Oh, God, never mind. Oh, Jesus. The Roaches, they melt. A couple of Roaches get into the mineral line, but mate, 20 Roaches, they mean nothing to 7 Cyclones. The Cyclones, they shut them down. Did kill 9 SCVs, thankfully, so some counter damage. But GgMaChine, look at the drone count. Look at the workers here. He's down to 37 workers. The soup is lying right now. It does look like the supplies are closer than they really are. As GgMaChine, he has no economy behind this. And here comes HonMonO. He knocks down the 4th. 4th base is going to fall. Roach is trying to come in from behind. Oh, they get 1, they get 2 Cyclones. Oh, God. The lock-ons are they're just brutal. they're just so punishing. Ah, God. Ah, no. Remember how they changed the Cyclone, the most recent Cyclone, remember how they changed it so that it was easier to break the lock-on so there was counter micro? Remember that? Anyway, GG. GG, well played. HonMonO ties it up. GG. Do you remember it was in the I say most recent, I guess now the last patch, how we were happy to see that the Cyclone lock-on range became shorter, which meant that it was now easier to pull back units and break the lock-on and have that kind of like counterplay between units in the Cyclone. Well, I mean, that's gone. I mean, that's nah, not anymore. And with that, we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 3. Let's go. Let us go. And the question becomes, what form of mech are we going to be seeing? You know, game one we had GgMaChine. Sorry, we had HonMonO go into Massive Banshee initially. Massive Banshee into Battle Mech. Game 2, we saw just straight up rush into Blue Flame Hellions into Battle Mech. What do we see this time? Where are we headed? Where are we headed? BC. Yo, we're not casting Gumiho, okay? If this was Gumi, yeah, you should all the BCs, 2-port BC even for Gumiho. Not wrong, not wrong. HonMonO, I don't know if he's a BC boy. I don't know. I think they're too slow for him. Maybe. We'll see. It's possible. It's possible. I don't want to count that out. What else haven't we seen? We haven't seen like a Magfield accelerator rush. We saw that, I think it was last week. We saw HonMonO do that against Protoss, where he rushed into Magfield accelerators and he went triple factory early, like 2-base cyclone production. It was crazy what he was doing there. But I don't know how, I don't think that's as viable against Zerg, just because cyclones that early on, they do quite poorly against Mass Link. Like they need that Hellion support that you build up early on, against Zerg at least. But we'll see. We shall see as we're getting into our next game. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the green Zerg player, representing 3D Clan, being forced into the ace match. Can he bounce back? It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the pink Terran player, representing Team Hyper 1, the Korean Terran. It is HonMonO. Here we go. As GgMaChine, for the first time this series, pull first. Let's go. It's gonna be a pull first opener here by our by our green Zerg player. And with this, we can go into early things. With this, we can try to go for an earlier Roach Warren as well if we commit to an early gas. Yeah, gas before hatchery. Okay. Very aggressive build here. Early gas means early link speed or early Bailey Nest or early Roach Warren as well. So aggression from GgMaChine. Meanwhile, back at home, HonMonO going for his tried and true Rax expand and expand on the high ground. So I'm not opposed to this leading into early roaches. As we mentioned, as we have seen every game so far, pool first builds aren't really ideal against HonMonO because the early links don't get any damage because the CC's on the high ground anyway. I guess just, oh my god. Double gas. HonMonO is going for one base all in. Wait, what's well, let's go. One base all in at a HonMonO. I spoke ahead of time. I was like, yeah, he's just gonna go for the CC. I did not see that he took a second gas. So double gas opener, Rax into factory, no command center whatsoever. Lings are moving out across the map. There is nothing to kill, but at least this will tell GgMaChine that something's wrong. This will give him some scouting information as to what is happening. There is the early gas. There it is. Gas is not for link speed. Gas is for roaches. So we are roach rushing here. And who do I favor given this position? It depends. If we're rushing into like Hellbats or no, 1-1-1. We're going into Widow Mines? Into a drop? Lings, they get a full scout. They slip in. They confirm Marines. They confirm at least one of the gases. They don't see everything, but clearly something is wrong here. And I'm hoping that GgMaChine doesn't move out with the roaches. I'm hoping he takes this time to drone and be the defender instead. But that's a tech lab. Are we going one base BC? No shot. Fusion core? Yeah, okay. It's one base BC. This can't be good. I mean, okay. So from here, he's going medevac into an add-on swap. The problem with one base BC is it takes a really long time. As you can imagine, we have to wait for the fusion core. We have to wait for the add-on swap. We have to wait for the BC itself to produce. Like, it takes a while to really get into BCs. And because of that, there's a high chance that GgMaChine scouts this. But does he? That's the thing. He is moving out. And he's droning. Now, the plus side, though, for this build is the queen count's very low. There's one queen. There's one queen. So if the BC does get across the map, unscouted, HonMonO can just win the game. 100%. He just win with like one BC. It's crazy. The army gets spotted. He's going to be dancing with the army or with the roaches. And it's so important. I mean, the Overlord just went down. It's so important here that GgMaChine figures out what's happening. And he doesn't. For now, at least. Oh, the mine shot. Oh! Widow Mine goes down. Nice pick off. Depot's under fire. And it is going to be going down. Marines, they take down one of the roaches. Nice pick off. One roach does fall. Boys are being pulled. SCVs are falling. Up. Oh! Okay, Bile doesn't quite connect. And the Roach Ravager does see the 1-1-1. He does not spot the starport, though. He's killing a little workers. This is getting game ending. Oh my god, 9 SCVs going to be going down. Gets 9 SCVs. Do we have another pile? Oh, we do. Doesn't quite connect. 10 workers falling. The juggling, the micro. Oh my, the Marines. The army gets cleaned up. Now, a couple of things here. Looking at the vision of GgMaChine, he saw the CC was late. He saw the 1-1. He should be aware that there should be a starport. Now, whether it's BC or Mass Banshee, that's also a possibility. That should be in the back of his mind. He's making more queens. No spore. No spore. We're teleporting across the map. We're going for the kill. And how many queens are there? There's one. One queen, 0 spore. Spore's now on the way. The main base is completely forfeit. And things are looking dire here for GgMaChine. Again, unscattered BC is brutal. As he kills one of the queens, he's going for the spawning pool. Why not? Rest of the army does arrive, takes down an overlord. Going for the main. Speed is going to be denied. Spawning pool is going to go down. That is brutal. And again, GgMaChine is stuck on one base economy. And there's more BCs coming. And without a spawning pool, you actually can't make any extra queens. You have 2 queens on the way. And those are going to be the final queens until the spawning pool finishes. Another queen gets started down. That was a high energy queen as well. Boys are being pulled. Good kiting here by HonMonO. Oh, the medevac though takes a lot of hits. A lot of unnecessary damage. On that medevac. Back at home is going to be expanding. Medevac does escape. BC killing more workers, killing more drones. He wants the queen ideally. And GgMaChine is just rallying across the map. He has to. Up to 2 queens. Oh my god, they barely survive. There's almost 1 transfuse, almost. Gotta die. This build is killing me. Second BC comes in, and I think that's just gonna be too much. Second BC has arrived, full HP as well. There's the first transfuse. And back at home, what is it? The event? Only 1 cyclone. Okay, there's potential. BC, oh, does chase the queen. 1 BC goes down. That should not have happened. That should not have happened here. HonMonO, he was distracted, he was inattentive. Roach Ravager busts into the main. There's 1 cyclone. The look on range is brutal. Takes down the Ravager. Roaches are trying to keep up. But again, the cyclone can just kite. He can just kite back. He can just stay out of range. The cyclone should not die to the Roach. But we have a Ravager coming in for a flank. Cyclone goes down. Cyclone goes down. Meanwhile, we have 1 BC for the main, 1 BC for the third. Hatcheries are falling, but Roaches, they can wreak havoc. But the problem is, technically, HonMonO can lift. Even if everything dies here, he can just lift all of his buildings. And the BCs will reign supreme. Boys being pulled away. There's going to be a 3rd BC. I mean, I guess now a 2nd BC as 1 BC did die earlier. True. HonMonO trying to mule as best he can. Hatcheries are falling. I mean, GgMaChine, he's on 1 base economy. With all these spores, technically, I don't think he can be broken. BC comes in to defend. Cyclone should fall. Miscontrol here by HonMonO. He doesn't pull away. Likewise, across the map, BC getting very low. Teleports back home. Does teleport back home. GgMaChine, he does get to 1 of the final SCVs. There's 1 SCV left. BCs will clean up all the roaches. The final SCV. No, it doesn't quite get it. There are the mules. And now he teleports across the map. Does teleport across. And what can he get done? Now, how many spores do we have? We have 4. We have 5. 5 spores and 2 queens. There's no Yamato. If there was Yamato, then HonMonO, he can pick away at the queens. But without Yamato, he can maybe get some overlords. He can obviously contain, right? He can contain the Zerg on 1 base. HonMonO, he's muling. He's on 2 CCs. Make 2 SCVs at a time. Hunting down more overlords. Overlords are racing back home to be safe with the spores. And it's just a really weird game state. Where GgMaChine, he has no tech. He's stuck on hatch tech. He's got a hatchery, he's got a spawning pool. That's all he has. And 1 base. He's got 1 base. Like, expanding from here is difficult to say the least. Especially against 2 BCs. I say 2 because there's 1 back at home. And a Banshee. Lair is on the way. You can see the HonMonO, again, the power of mules. He's already catching up. Like, he was down to 1 SCV. Now he's up to 13. And he's on 2. Like, he has a better economy. Straight up. Like, he's just getting a better economy here. He's powering up on 2 bases. Very important link run by here, but one of the BCs left back at home. Up. Oh, the micro! The pickup! The medevac! He saves the SCV! He saved the SCVs! But I spoke too soon! Oh, Lings, they go for the mule, and they will not get it. Mule survives. And he gets maybe 1 SCV. Oh, no, not even. Not a single unit goes down. HonMonO defends. Getting very nice control here out of HonMonO. Lings, they try to flood out, but there's a BC just catching reinforcements. Yamato's on the way. GgMaChine, finally he can expand. I mean, he's trying to, but if HonMonO rotates, he will deny the expansion. Like, Queens off of creep cannot transfuse. And get a couple of hits in. HonMonO going for the expansion. Lings, they flood across the map once again, but... Oh, second BC teleports! That means that much less to defend, but there's a wall. It's close up! The wall is not open. The wall is not ready. The wall is wide open. Lings, they flood in. They get a Hellion. They go for the mineral line. Only 1 Banshee to defend. BC's out of position, but they will kill the expansion. That was a cancel. I believe that was a cancel on the kill. Yeah, 1 drone. That was a cancel, thankfully. 4 SCVs go down. There's still that Banshee to defend. BCs, they bust in behind the mineral line. We have the Spiral on the way. Let's go, Corruptors. We can make Corruptors, Pappy. And GgMaChine, he has a bank. Does have a bank. He has Larva. The 1 base Corruptor, but Yamato's going up. Gets a Queen, gets 1, gets 2. 1 Queen left. Okay, 1 base Corruptor. Can he overwhelm 2 BCs? 100%. He can. Especially if he gets caught out on the map like this. Like, HonMonO, he did scout. He saw the spire. He should know. Did he click? I mean, that could look like a spore if he didn't click on it. So, I mean, but he should be aware. I mean, there's a lair. And he needs to be real quick with that teleport. He needs to get the hell out of here. GgMaChine, he attempts to expand. Corruptors have arrived. There's a cancel. There's a teleport. Ooh. Does teleport in time. Saves the BCs. Just barely. Now we're up to 3. 3 battle cruisers. Boys being pulled to repair. No eBay. eBay still on the way. No turrets. Let's see. Head on. 6 Corruptors. That's not enough. He can't fight this head on. Especially with repairs. And Yamato. Yeah, that's not good. GgMaChine, he does overextend. He cannot fight this. Not yet. GgMaChine, he has to bank up a Corruptor count and get his natural base up and running, or his expansion. Speaking of HonMonO, he's up to 32 work because he has a better economy. HonMonO, he has a better economy. Straight up. Sure, GgMaChine, he's surviving, but he needs something to go his way. He needs to either catch a BC on its own and get into a mineral line. He needs something. As for now, we are moving out with 1 BC. Teleport is available. And you can see HonMonO, he's snowballing out of control. Like, his supplies, it's getting up there. The SIP, this time, it's not lying. It's not lying back. BC teleports away. We have 2 more coming in from the right-hand side, and he's embracing Battle Mech. Cyclones are amassing. And Pappy, we know how good Cyclones are, especially against what? No Roaches, no Hydras, only Lings with 0/0. Corruptors don't shoot down. Like, a mass Cyclone transition here can work wonders for HonMonO. He sees a kill a Spore. Going for the Spire. Uh oh. Spire's under fire. Corruptors have to respond. Yamato going up with a teleport. Up! Kills the Spire! Oh my god, the Yamato is crazy. Snipes the Spire, teleports away. Denies +1. No more Corruptors, only Lings. And GgMaChine has to rebuild that spire. Back at home, Cyclones are amassing. More factories on the way, getting up to what, like a 4, soon to be 5 factory setup. BCs are topped up. How many corruptors? Still only 6. Still only 6. Does find a couple of SCVs, but he cannot stop the expansion. Gets a Banshee at least. Gets a Banshee, commits to the flanks. Yamato's going off, and there's nothing left. This army just cannot keep up. Not with HonMonO. Not with all these BCs. GG gets called, and HonMonO will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. The hell do we just watch? Ay. GG, well played. Your prayers have been answered. Who was it in the chat that wanted the BC? Helgi. Oh no. No, sorry, Pecoeta. Pecoeta was asking for BCs. I mean, hey, you got it. You got it. 1 base BC against the initial roach rush of GgMaChine. It was nonsense. It was crazy. But GG, well played. HonMonO does take the series, and with that, we are getting ready for our semifinals. Yeah, we're getting ready for our semifinals. We are setting up. Here we go. As I need to very quickly get the match ready here. But congratulations, HonMonO. He does advance on to the semifinals, and he is waiting for his next opponent. He's waiting for his opponent